The Old Testament reading this week comes from the first chapter of Genesis. And one of the interesting things about Genesis 1 is that it presents God in a very different way than the way that the nations around Israel presented God. God wasn't this tyrant who created human beings just to serve him. He created human beings to dominate the world. He's not some God who has to fight back the primordial forces of chaos that rule over the world. He speaks and this chaotic water moves. God is God over all, and God is powerful. I wanted to read just a couple of sections from this reading. We're not going to hit the whole thing, but for Trinity Sunday, which is this Sunday, there's some important things here. We have first, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was over the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. And God saw that the light was good, and God separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning, the first day. So here we have this picture, and the reason that this is read on Trinity Sunday is because we have this element here of each of the persons of the Trinity being present, and the early church fathers picked up on this. They said you have God the Father who speaks. You have the Spirit of God, the Holy Spirit, hovering over the face of the deep, and then you have what John calls the Word. In the beginning was the Word was God, and the Word was with God. By Him all things were made. God's method of creation here is let there be light, He says. And you have the Word, the eternal Son, present. You have the Trinity present here. And that's why that's read on Trinity Sunday. But what I find interesting is the claims this makes about God. God isn't like Marduk. He doesn't have to kill the sea monster. He just speaks and the sea surrenders. This God didn't make people to serve Him. He made people to be creative agents, to be like Him, to rule over the world, not in a tyrannical way, but in a way that gives life and light. He says, and God said, "Let us make man in our image and after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea and the birds of the heavens and over the livestock and over all the earth, over every creeping thing that is on the earth." You know, the other gods made human beings as servants, but God made us as subject, as agents in the world to make a change. Just as He changed darkness into light, we too change darkness into light where we go. And so if you come into a situation and you bring more darkness than you bring light, you bring people down, you're not bringing the love that we're called to bring, you're denying your role. You're rejecting who God has made us to be. And so I'd ask all of us to embrace that role, to embrace the role that we've been given as creatures, as made in the image of God, that we would speak light into darkness, peace into chaos. Grace and peace.